Hello all, been quite a while, but Rural Pipe Wes coming back at you. I won't bore you with all details of why I'm being on and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, I've noticed, kind of, well, recently I guess, that a lot of people have been, particularly on a Facebook group, UK Pipe and Tobacco Club, that people are getting more into plugs and plug tobacco. Um, it it seems as though it's becoming more popular. I know Glyn at GQ Tobaccos makes a big effort to get a plug form and a flake form of a particular tobacco in. And now people are trying them, and there's a lot of questions about how you prepare them. Now, I just thought I'd do a video of how I prepare them. That's all it is, how I prepare them. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'll do a couple of different types of plug, because some are a lot more solid than others. And I'm going to deal with Mick McQuaid plug and Riva plug. Riva's my favourite plug. I do predominantly smoke plugs and flakes myself, but some tobaccos I prefer the ready rub version. So it's just, excuse me, everybody's, each to their own. So I'm going to try and get the camera right. It's not that easy, but I'll try and get a good angle so you can see what's going on. Unfortunately, you'll still be able to hear me, but it might be a bit of a daft. I'll try and get it square. Right. Okay. I'll go. Right. So that's this is. Here we go. This is Mick McQuaid plug. Very nice plug indeed. So, as you can see, there's not a great deal left. Now, most people already know this, but that's the side of the plug, like a cross section, and that's the top of the plug, like the glossier bit. So obviously we want to be cutting down and across there, not splitting, because the tobaccos are in the layer, so you need that full layer. Okay, so nice sharp knife. Some people use an Opinel knife, which I guess I should have, but this is just my kitchen knife. So what I do, it's probably easy to see that way, a thin sliver, almost as though it's a flake, and I just cut down. Mind your fingers. Now, this point, you think, crikey, I can't get through this. So all I do is I just apply some pressure, and it just rock it, and it starts to push through. Looks a little bit barbaric. Then you get your flake that comes off. So that's the flake there, and it smells amazing. Now, you've got options from there. If you want, you can separate it so you can see how that'll then break away. So some people break that up. Now, I can tell already that this would just flake away just by rubbing it. So what I'll do is, or what I generally do, that is what I do. So all I'm doing is rolling it up and down. Yeah, and then all I do again is just sort of fold them in half and then give them another rub. So you literally are just rubbing it out. So circular motion, then up and down, and then I'll just pop all that on the board. Now, you can see already that it's nice and broken now. Now, it's quite moist is this flake, so is this plug. So what I'd be tempted to do now is just break it up a little bit more. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just run a blade through again. So that's all I'd do. You can get it back up together. Just run a blade back through. Just like you're chopping a vegetable or something. Okay? And you'll notice now what we've got is kind of bigger chunks than what you would generally get if you just bought a ready rub tobacco, but they're almost like little cubes. And I know that will smoke just fine. So generally I'll put about this much to one side. This would go in the pipe, so that would be about right for one of my bowl pipes. I don't really have any big bowl pipes, that would be about right. Then what I would do with this I would rub it again, but I would be a little bit more kind of vigorous with it. So I'll rub it again like that, and that would act as a bit of kindling. Now if it was fairly moist, I would also chop it again, and then that can act as the kindling, which will sit on top of that. That'll burn a lot easier, so by the time you get to the thicker stuff, the tobacco's already burning, and it's much more likely then that that will take. If you just try and light bigger chunks, it won't happen and you just get frustrated. So that is Mick McQuaid. So let me just pop that to one side. And now we'll come on to Revo plug. So 6 minutes, it's time getting on. So Revo plug, or Revo plug, as people think I say it. Revo plug. There you go, Revo plug. Now this is a different plug altogether. This is more like a bar, okay? That's pretty much how this is. It's just a solid bar, which is probably about 1 inch by 1/2 inch, and it comes about this long, so it'll go to about here. Now this, people always say, do you cut it off? Imagine that being longer. Do you cut it off the end there, or do you cut it across this section? I always cut it across this section because it just crumbles. So again, you see, run that through, run your blade through. Watch this one. Look at that. That just crumbles. That's ready to go in straight away, quick as that. I would load that in. Again, I would always put a section to one side. That would just rub out a little more. So either rub it out in my hands or just with a blade, and that would act as the kindling. So you've got your main tobacco in there, and then you can just have your little bit of kindling in there. Pop that in your pipe, which will have a gauze in, and make sure your filter's into your pipe, and away you go. So hopefully that's been useful. So it might be a little bit disjointed, but I kind of done it on the spare at the moment. I didn't have much time, but I wanted to get it done and just help anybody that's struggling with preparation, or maybe didn't even buy plug tobacco because they were worried that they wouldn't be able to prepare it. I hope that helps. Any questions, pop them in the comment box, or if you're a member of the UK Pipe and Tobacco Club, then just drop me a line on there.